Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, from wherever you are in the world, and welcome back to the Formula A World Championship. I am Zach RC, bringing you all the action from here at the Mugello circuit for the Tuscan Grand Prix, round number 4 of the championship. Our early title runners have emerged over the opening races, and it would appear we're in for a wild ride this season should the battle run all the way to Brazil. There's still a long way to go, however, and today's race provides a great opportunity for drivers to push further up the table. A look at the track then, the first Italian track we visit this season. Mugello's main overtaking opportunities come on the home straight, so expect to see the majority of passes completed there today. 15 corners, 5 to the left and 10 to the right, making up the 5.2km circuit. Formula 1 have only hosted one Grand Prix here in 2020, notable for being Ferrari's 1000th Grand Prix and the place of Alex Albon's first F1 podium finish. I wonder if we'll see a new face on the rostrum for us today. Without further ado then, let's take a look at the starting grid for the Tuscan Grand Prix. Starting on pole position is Alexia Pernay. She's won 2 out of the first 3 races. Sergio Arbeloa starts alongside. He's finished on the podium multiple times. Then it's Milton Verve 3rd and Chloe Thomas starting 4th, half a second separating the top 4 alone. Manuel Hadre starts 5th off his great podium finish in Australia last time out, and starting behind him is the race winner from Australia, Sophie Sevilla. Then it's Oscar Diaz for XCT, and Nathan Dagnot scores his best qualifying position. He starts 8th. 9th place goes to Luca Gatto's consistent deserver once again inside the top 10, with Max Schmidt rounding out that top 10 for Ruiz. And it's Mick Wallan in 11th and Liam Turton in 12th. Could he score some points today? We'll have to wait and see. Starting 13th is Lucas Favorani in the other Axel 76, and then Eduardo Melo for XCT. And it's the Fireside Motorsports of Pascal Becker, who are absolutely torrid qualifying, and Joe Daly starts in the lowly 16th position. Scott Price starts in 17th for Jaguar RT, followed closely by Eric Turner, and it's Luigi Marchetta in the Morimoto after his top 10 qualifying last time out, and William Evans starting in 20th. And finally, rounding them out is Bruno Cabral for Thornton, and for the 3rd time in 4 races, Rico Tanaka starts in the last position. Hopefully he'll be able to make up some places. So without further ado, let's go down to the grid for the start. Here we go then, for the start of the 4th round of the Formula A Championship, the Tuscan Grand Prix. Will we see a race as good as we did in Formula 1? 5 red lights, Alexia Pernay on pole position. The lights are out and we go underway, and it's a terrible start from Pernay. Here comes Arbeloa on the outside, flying towards the first corner. Here's Oscar Diaz running 7th off the line. Down towards the first corner, it's Arbeloa around the outside in turn 1, but Pernay's still there. They go wheel to wheel through the first few corners, and it's Arbeloa who has the edge. The Mexican pulls away to the early lead, and what a start from the Mexican. He's definitely got the edge over Pernay on the start. You look at how slowly she got off the line, and that's not allowed the Fireside guys to take advantage. He leads through the opening sector of this race. Crucially for Pernay, she still has enough to maintain the championship lead by a decent margin due to the fact that Sophie Sevilla started back in P6 and Pernay was on pole, but it's Arbeloa who leads the way. He hasn't had the best of starts to this season. He's taken a few podiums here within the first few races, but he hasn't really been in position to challenge for the victory. Here's Chloe Thomas trying to pass Manuel Hadre in the Delta Morcar. He must have made seconds 4th on the start. The BMW engine of that car helping Thomas to close in. Milton Verve also closing on Alexia Pernay in front of him in the race for 2nd, but Arbeloa who's pulled away to the early lead and coming towards the final corner. It looks like he's going to lead the first lap of this race. A couple of guys moving down slightly lower on the line to defend their position, and down this straight that's going to be crucial because this is the best opportunity for anyone to overtake. There's Sophie Sevilla now looking to the inside of Oscar Diaz, going down towards the first corner. They go side by side. Chloe Thomas moving around in front of them, trying to pass El Hadre in towards turn 1. Diaz gets the edge, Sevilla backs out, and that will not be good for Sophie Sevilla. She stays in P7 for the time being. She's got a 4-car train there as Pernay continues to hold on for her teammate for the time being. Of course, she's leading the championship, so any position she can keep will be greatly appreciated from her and trying to maintain that points lead. Here's the Morimoto of, I believe that's Luigi Marchetta. Rico Tanaka's had a decent start. He's pushed up 2 places on the opening lap. He's done a very good job there, doing well with, or not doing as well on Saturday, but definitely impressive during these races on Sunday. Milton Verve now still running 3rd, trying to close in on his teammate. Nick Lan running a 9th lead, kind of closing on Nathan Demir, who had a very impressive qualifying yesterday. If he starts 8th, or he started 8th for today's race, and that'll be the kind of thing that Abbey Grand Prix, higher up there, that's the kind of thing they'll be looking at, should they ever need to find a replacement for one of their drivers. Milan has a rearview mirror full of the Italian of Luca Gatto in the Generati behind. He's going to want to defend his line. Arbeloa still leading the way. Fireside are yet to win a race this season, despite being considered the bookies' favourites going into this season. Chloe Thomas on the outside now. Manuel Hadre, she's got quite a good run. We saw what happened to Sophie Sevilla last time round on trying to pass Oscar Diaz. Most likely she will get shut off down in towards that first corner. And yes, she does. El Hadre stays in P4 for the time being, but Thomas looking to fight back. She went down low there, couldn't quite get inside. Still Verve running third here, running right behind Max Schmidt here in P11. Of course, Verve said I'm not running right behind Perne. You get the picture. Here's Max Schmidt running running back behind Brian and Gatto running up to P11, I believe. Oh, we got a car off the road. That's El Hadre. And what on earth has happened to El Hadre? There must have been contact made with Chloe Thomas, but just like that, the Arab driver has gone from scoring a podium last time out in Australia to falling to the back of the field here at Mugello, and that is not what you want to see for anyone who's contending in those point scoring places, and that'll give El Hadre a lot of work to do here to even have a chance of potentially even scoring points. There'll have to be no mistakes from here on out from El Hadre and the Dalton Moore car if he wants to score anything from this weekend. Is Verve running third place. There is El Hadre once again running all the way back in 22nd. Fortunately, he's not out of the race because we never like to see any of them retire in Formula A. We like to see as many cars as possible making it to the finish line at the end of the race. 4.5 seconds separate El Hadre from Serna in 21st, and like I said, that'll mean that there must be no mistakes for Mohamed El Hadre for him to even have a chance of salvaging anything from this race today. Verve trying to pass his teammate, not getting in there. He moved over, as opposed to the two Abbey Grand Prix drivers we've seen the last couple of laps who simply let themselves get shut down. But Verve backed out and quickly tried to pull to the inside, but unfortunately for him, Perne was having absolutely none of it. So she remains in P2 for the time being. You know how close it is between these two teammates. In the championship, not as much due to Verve's retirement in Austria, and that put him quite way behind to begin with. And the two Apex cars must make sure they don't make contact in any way, or do anything that could see either one of them go out the race, because they relinquished the lead in the Constructors' Championship to Abbey Grand Prix last time out with Sophie Sevilla's victory in Australia, and it's only a few points in it, so they're going to want to be able to get that back as soon as they can. As of now, they will take that back, but there's still a long way to go in this race, so you can never be too sure. Verve still moving around, trying to find a way past Perne, while Arbeloa continues to stretch that lead. Perne defending that inside line. Verve could give himself a really good shot this time. He's got quite a good exit, and we could see a chance for the Brit as they come out of the last corner and scream back towards the line. With Perne seeing her teammate in the mirrors, he's trying to move in. But there goes Verve back underneath, but once again Perne defends brilliantly, and she's run slightly down off our line, and Verve's gone a bit lower through that first corner. So it's crucial that she manages to stay ahead for her sake in the championship. Verve just continuing to race cleanly behind his teammate for the time being. Got a yellow flag somewhere on the track. I'm not quite sure what that's for. Eduardo Melo is off the track. He looks like he has some kind of problem, and that could be seeing him out the race. And yep, here comes the marshal in to push his car away, and it's a puncture for Eduardo Melo, and that's the second time for XCT Racing this season. They've been plagued by punctures. Of course, Oscar Diaz, their other driver, was knocked out of the race in Bahrain due to a puncture, and it appears his teammate has suffered the absolute same fate. So that's another retirement for XCT. Of course, we knew durability was an issue for them in testing, but during race scenario, it hasn't actually been any parts that have failed, but rather a puncture on the car each time. Here's Luca Gatto trying to get inside of Mick Lamb once again. Through the chicanes they come. Pascal Becker trying to run back up into the try to get back towards the top 10, because yeah, current qualifying starting 15th there as Roland locks up, and that could lead to a very poor exit and a chance for Gatto or Schmidt behind. It's Scott Price running P17, also trying to make that move. Pernay defending from Verve still, but locks up in towards that first corner. You see there is Melo stripping car out of this race. We're on lap 6 now of the 11 that make up this Grand Prix. Verve's fallen away slightly, and that will give Pernay some breathing room for the time being, but you can bet your money on the fact that Verve will come fighting back within a lap or so, potentially, or even perhaps even quicker than that. We know how, because we're yet to see how good Verve is during those one-on-one battles side by side. Tanaka to lock up slightly there. He's trying to hold off the Thornton car. Bruno Cabral is doing a very good job at that. I believe that is Joe Bailey. No, that's Mario Hadre running in front up in 19th place. Tanaka runs 20th, so Hadre fighting back now, trying to work his way back to the field. Just trying to salvage something from that drive. Pernay still second. Verve still in third place. The double podium for Apex will be very good in helping them retake the lead in the championship, with Abbey Grand Prix drivers running in 4th and 6th. But Sergio here we're looking to change that, trying to get past Oscar Diaz, which this is the highest he's run all season. And like I say, Sevilla could be looking to change that. Diaz continues to defend the inside towards the first corner. Sevilla not close to make a move yet in the mirrors, but will he look over there to go to the inside? But once again, Diaz defends spectacularly. And it looks like he'll be holding on to 5th place for the time being. Mick Wallan still continuing to hold off Luca Gatto, but locks up once again. And runs slightly off that line. There's a large train forming behind Wallan, and it could get to the point where any one of these guys could still take the points away from him come the end of the day. Still trying to find a way in. There's very few overtaking opportunities on this circuit. It gets harder and harder throughout the lap. You only get a chance once you reach the straights again. These technical sections have really stopped. I hope that the guy ahead of you makes a mistake to have a chance at making it with any kind. Gatto's still running there. He's been consistently behind Roland for the entire race. The Monegasque unable to do anything about it as Pernay rounds the last corner. She still runs second and can still see Arbeloa in the distance, but unable to do anything about him continuing to pull away here. Tanaka continues to hold off Cabral here as they enter the last sector. The gap even closer this time around than it was before. They're coming to start their final 4 laps of this Tuscan Grand Prix. Cabral looking around, Tanaka defending that inside line. His defensive driving is second to none. Tanaka's Pernay running slightly off their line there. Will that allow Verve to potentially catch up a bit? You can see Arbeloa in the distance, the Mexicans have continued to stretch that lead. Taking a look at positions gained and lost today. Arbeloa's gained 1 position, Pernay has lost 1 off the start. That start has been crucial on the side of this who's most likely to win this race today. Diaz has gained 2, Nathan Dagnol has gained 1, and Mick Wallan has gained 3. He's done a very good job today. Fully deserves any points that he may take home. Tanaka still holding off the Portuguese driver. There he goes, looking to the inside. No contact between the two. This is nice, clean racing between these two drivers in slower machinery compared to the guys up front. But the Honda engine is doing the job in that Morimoto car in holding off the Mercedes power in the back of the Thornton machine. Arbeloa with round his far side, around the last corner. 3 more laps for him to go. McWillan locks up again. He's got a habit of doing that, and that could come back to haunt him later on in the race. Gatto looking to the inside, not able to do anything about it. But still unable to get past McWillan as they round the last corner and towards the line. And Gatto got a bit of a better exit there, and that could be crucial. He's already looking around the outside, trying to make that move into turn 1. Diaz locks up. We're going to keep an eye on this battle down into the first corner. Wallan continues to hold off Gatto, but he pulls to the inside, but can't get in there. Wallin doesn't lock up this time and manages to hold on to P8. Max Schmidt remains unchallenged by Lucas Favorani behind. He's got Liam Turpin on the top behind him, and it's Pascal Becker at 13th who's gained a couple of positions in this race, but still this performance, a quarter of the way into the season, he's quite a way off in the championship, and this kind of performance is not good enough for Fireside standards, and it wouldn't surprise me if this form was to continue. It wouldn't at all surprise me if he was to be replaced come the end of the season, so he's really got to put his finger out and score some points for the team, because these kind of results are not what Fireside would have wanted when they signed him. Verve now is caught back up to Alexia Perne in the apex. Mick Wallin still holding off Gatto. His defensive driving today has been second to none. There haven't been many opportunities where Gatto's had a chance to pass. Of course, Wallin locking up hasn't really helped matters for himself. Oh, and there's contact, and there goes Luca Gatto off the track, and there he goes outside of the points now, just like that. And here comes Joe Daly looking to capitalise, trying to take P13, and then around goes, and that's Mick Wallin. Unbelievable stuff here. Both of these two guys out of the points just like that. Contact going through that last turn there was too much for both of them to handle, and both of them are now out of the points. Mick Wallin dropping to the absolute tail end of the field, last of the runners now, as Arbeloa across the line to start his final 2 laps, and it's Liam Turton who now goes up into the points, alongside Lucas Favorani and Max Schmidt, who now runs 8th, and that's very unfortunate for both drivers, and that gives Pascal Becker a chance to at least salvage A points from this race. The highlight of the field now being Liam Turton, who has never scored a point. This is only his 4th top level motor race, and it looks like he could be scoring 1 point today, and that'll be big for Thornton, who are trying to get the edge over Morimoto Abbey Academy in the Constructors' Championship. Along with Ruiz, who will also be scoring points today. This will be their first point of the season, provided they can hold on. Looks like they may do so. Arbeloa still continuing to stretch their lead over both the Apex cars. But once again, really, really unfortunate. As there goes Marchetta off the track, and around he goes. Hold on, no, he's just saved it. That was very good spin recovery there from Marchetta. He's just about managed to hold on. As Arbeloa will no doubt be starting his final lap. There he goes, on to his last lap. Sergio Arbeloa on course to win this race. Hasn't really been in doubt for the majority of the day, has it? Verve now pulling to the inside again, but still doesn't have the late braking skills he needs to get past Perne, and that'll mean most likely that she reclaims the championship lead and increases it once again. Sophie Sevilla runs 5th, but it's not quite good enough. Nathan Dagnot's worked his way up into 6th, and he's holding off Oscar Diaz. I never actually noticed this. Nathan Dagnot up in 6th, and this is going to be an incredible result for Abbey Academy, meaning that all 3 of the teams and all the bottom 3 in the Constructors' Championship will all be scoring points today, and that'll be absolutely crucial for their battles as we try to get as many teams in the points as possible in the Constructors' Championship, just to show you how close Formula A can be sometimes. But speaking of what hasn't been close, and that's been the race for the lead, and that race has belonged solely to Sergio Arbeloa, who's coming through to start the last sector now. He's got a 5-second lead over Perne. He's absolutely dominated this race from start to finish, and just to show you how crucial the start can be to a Formula A race, and it is going to be Sergio Arbeloa coming out on top. All the excitement's been happening behind him, but he ran a smooth, controlled race, and that's exactly what Fireside would have wanted him to do. And it's the Fireside Motorsports team who take the top step of the podium at last. Sergio Arbeloa wins the Tuscan Grand Prix, his first win of the season, his first win in Formula A. Here comes Alexia Perne holding off Verve right to the line. Perne takes 2nd, Verve 3rd, Chloe Thomas 4th, Sophie Sevilla 5th. And start the applause once again for Nathan Dagnot, the French driver, coming home in 6th or maybe 7th, because here comes Oscar Diaz towards the line. Who gets there? And it's Dagnot who holds on for 6th place. Max Schmidt 8th, Lucas Favorani 9th, and Liam Turton scored his first points in only his 4th top level motor race. What a race we've seen today. All the action's been happening behind the leaders. It's Sergio Arbeloa who comes out on top, but like I say, all the drama happening in the mid pack. Of course, you got to feel some for Mick Wallin and for Luca Gatto, who really deserve points today. But it's Arbeloa who comes out on top in what's been a very, very crazy race. Well, let's have a look at the final classification then from this Tuscan Grand Prix. Arbeloa wins the race by 5.7 seconds over Alexia Pernay. Milton Vervation finishes third, and of course those new point scorers today. Nathan Dagnot finishes 6th, Max Schmidt finishes 8th, and Liam Turton finishes in 10th. Of course, poor races for drivers such as Eduardo Melo, and poor finishes for Luca Gatto and Mick Milan. Then the Drivers' Championship has changed. Arbeloa jumps up into second by 1 point over Sophie Sevilla. Pernay still leads the championship by just under 20 points. Chloe Thomas, that's 22 points. Chloe Thomas in 4th, Milton Verve 5th, and Pascal Becker still languishing down there in 7th place. He's still got work to do to catch up to his teammate. And look at Constructors' Championship. Apex take back the Constructors' Championship lead by 7 points back to Abbey Grand Prix. These two teams appear to be in a deadlock for the championship this season. Fireside running 3rd, and Axel 76 jumped from 7th to 5th in the space of one race with that points finish today. And we can't forget the new point scorers today. Abbey Academy, Ruiz Motorsport, and Thornton Motorsport leave Morimoto the only team without points. We hope you enjoyed today's broadcast of the Tuscan Grand Prix. Hope to see you next time for the German Grand Prix at the Nürburgring. Until then, make sure to like, share and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.